5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
All right, here we go. Podcast number 12.
Got the 12. We
going
got the dozen,
down.
the dirty dozen.
We have a special guest today. Go ahead, Matt. Tell them who it is.
Let's do it, D. Let's do it. Deanna.
And my
Deanna
Verderber.
Verderber.
And yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's my man.
Well, before we get started, we have to tell them who our sponsor is today.
Our sponsor. Because this is something new.
This is something new. We're coming out with it first time today.
Ending 2020 off on a right note.
That's right.
Got a nice sponsor, Chris Bordeaux and Sons Flooring. Thank you for your support.
Yep, absolutely. Based out of Ludlow, Mass. For all your flooring needs.
Shout out, Chris.
It's our boy right there.
There you go.
Shout out. I should put a picture of my floors that he put in as the next
You
thing.
just put a picture of Chris up there.
They are sweet.
No,
He is pretty. He could
you
get
don't
some.
want to scare the folks.
So we have a guest today that named Eye Candy Randy. This is the one. Oh, you know what? I didn't get your card.
Oh,
I was on conference calls all day today.
no.
I will mail it to you tomorrow. I promise. Make sure you leave your. I'll have to up the game a little bit. She'll probably have to get a $30 card.
Yeah, see. Is that live? That's
right.
That's
That's
there.
live.
That
live.
is
Can't take it back now.
That's right. I'll go all over Facebook with that crap.
slandering and
You
all
heard what
sorts
he
of
said
stuff.
to me. Everybody
Look
get
it's
that.
a $5 card.
Boycott the podcast. So Deanna was one of the winners, or she was the winner of Eye Candy Randy. Now, can you tell us how you got Eye Candy Randy?
Yeah, where did that come from?
I work in the eye field, and it just rhymed.
Do you have any special crushes with the name Randy?
No.
How about candy?
Well, who doesn't like candy?
Well, yeah.
That is a good point.
No, but I work with eyes. So.
It's true.
And everyone says, they want to look at eye candy. And then Randy just happened to rhyme, so.
It was natural.
It just flowed.
Gelled together.
That's right.
Not like Sandy or Dandy.
Right, but that's a guy.
Yeah.
And then Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff is the one that brought the bah humbug. What's in his eyes today?
This is
sleeping.
Verderber. This is Verderber out today.
It is.
This is sun.
The Verderbers have definitely put a stamp,
Yeah.
a footprint.
Yeah.
It's
in
worse
this
if you had
podcast.
all three of us here, though.
Oh, it's going to happen one of these
that's
days. That's a good
dangerous.
idea.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Yeah. The crew.
All the whole tribe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're like an average of age 12 when we're together.
Yeah. I'm age 12 all the time, so
But you guys are gonna have to sit according to height over here, though. Just
I'm the shortest. The oldest and the shortest.
kidding.
But the youngest
guys.
but the
You know I'm
youngest
kidding.
looking.
You are the prettiest
Oh, thanks.
for sure. For sure. Those other two guys are a little
Yeah.
ugly.
Ain't no box of
Yeah.
chocolates.
I feel bad for Jeff's wife every single day, So, another special surprise that we have today. Drum roll, please.
That's not a drum, but okay.
We have some cupcakes there, and we're going to take a camera shot of that before we dive into those.
And we got a dozen.
Dozen.
Episode 12. We got a dozen
12.
of D's sweet stuff.
Oh, my God. Look at those things.
And because you said you liked
Boston
Boston cream, this is a new recipe
Oh.
Wow.
of Boston cream.
Now, me and Matt were talking before the podcast started. Deanna makes everything from scratch.
That's right.
From the frosting to the Boston cream filling.
It's unreal.
There's no store-bought stuff here.
Unreal. That's skill. That is straight
That's
up
for
skill.
beginners.
Jeff told one of his exes before that I had a cow in the backyard to get the whipping cream
That's where
from.
you get it all.
Yep.
You got Elsie in the back.
Yep.
She has a little goat when someone can't take lactose.
Exactly.
D takes care of everybody.
right.
All needs, all specifications,
I'm impressed. I would tell you, what's one of my favorite things about going to Jeff's parties
Yes, indeed.
is the food you bring is insane.
Thanks.
So damn good.
Speaking of your sponsor, let me tell you a funny story about him. There is a party at Erica's mom's house for, I believe it was Abel, maybe when he graduated. My brother said the only reason he knew I was there was because Chris went up to him with a mouthful of brownies, spitting out of his mouth. Your sister's here. Your sister's here.
That's like a go-to though. Every party, it's. Are there any peanut butter? Is there any chocolate? What do we got? I can smell it.
And you weren't here for the peanut butter cake, so I gotta just throw this out here because I was a little pissed off when you made the cake for Jeff. So we go upstairs for David. We go upstairs, and I'm getting trying to get things shut off down here and do all that stuff.
They ate it all?
Well, no, because my wife's like, I'll cut some up for everybody. Well, part of the problem with somebody with a brain injury is she'll say something and then forget she said it. She cut a piece for her, my daughter, Jeff, and Dave. I got goose egg because I was down here trying to do the file transfers and making sure everything was all set.
So Jeff and Dave did not have your back and say...
Nope, they walked right out of here. Scumbags.
So you got none?
Got nothing.
Well, now you have 12.
Now I got 12.
Nils.
I got 12 and I got diabetes. That's what's going to happen. Diabetes.
Jeff Clough has one cupcake and then has another. What does he have?
We call it the sugar beaties.
You're going to find me in the shower tonight curled up in a ball with chocolate frosting all over my face.
Diabetes.
And that's ganache frosting.
Oh, are you serious?
Dead serious. Well, it's Boston cream.
Would you say it's in the frosting?
It's ganache frosting. So it's just
I don't know if ganache, it just sounds delicious.
So you
Tell 'em
just
what it is.
warm up some heavy whipping cream, pour it over a crap ton of chocolate.
Damn.
And then mix it, throw some vanilla in there, and then let it get to that point.
Jeez.
Let it create love. And
Yes.
That's
You ain't lying. Like,
I'm pretty sure when she opened that box, I heard angels singing.
like they said on Chappelle with the aura, the Rick James aura. There was like an aura around this box as soon as that opened up. You see that orange glow.
Yeah, like Raiders of the Lost Ark when he opened up the chest. And,
That's right.
So we have another update too. We're finally getting together with some wall stuff here.
Yes.
And so you won't see it on this podcast. I don't know if you guys can see it. You can see a little bit of that maybe.
Little piece.
Over
little
here.
piece right here.
But I got The Godfather coming.
Yes, indeed.
I got Jimi Hendrix, a Marilyn Monroe, and a Christopher Walken canvas.
And you got one more.
What's that?
Lauryn Hill?
No, I wanted to get Lauryn Hill.
You didn't get that
I can't
one.
find it on there, but that is my next.
All right.
So all of you guys out there that don't know this, when my daughter was born, or when my wife was pregnant, we were fighting over the names, right? I wanted a boy, another boy. Well, I thought I did.
Well, you know, once you can't choose after that. Like once it's gone.
Yeah. And I love the nickname Nico for Nicholas. She wanted no part of that. And so come to find out it was a girl. But what we were going to do was write it all on cards and send it out to the family and then have them send it back. And that's how we were going to do it. And I'll never forget this day. It was a winter day, probably like January, February, something like that. And I'm in the house blaring Lauryn Hill. And I had a pretty nice stereo system back then.
Were you singing Lauryn Hill though?
Oh,
You were singing?
Yeah.
All right.
And remember back then, the CDs used to flip them open, and then you could read everything. And had all the words to the songs, and you had stuff to do, like you know. And I'm looking at her name, and I'm like, that's just it's spelt so beautiful. So I went into the kitchen. I said, "What do you think about this name?" And she's like, "Oh my God, that's it." And that's how we got Lauren's name.
Hey. And how do you spell it?
Same way as Lauryn
Same
Hill.
way.
Yep.
Yeah.
So people something like, "Come on, you didn't do it that way." I'm like, that's
always a story,
that's
man.
honest to God. Yeah. So shout out to Lauren.
Yeah. And all the Grammys are upstairs too.
I've always wanted to go see her. I saw her live once out in Boston, which was insane.
Yeah.
It was a very short show though. Like it was way shorter than I expected. But something I'll never forget.
Yeah. I saw her. I think it was last year. Yeah, last year. We hit Belmont, saw the horse race, left the horse race. We had tickets to the Mets game.
Yep.
After the Mets game, she was performing. So we literally did that. Boom. Saw the concert.
Wow.
After the, you know what I'm saying, watched the game, had the concert. You know, it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Sounded the same. She sounded drinking.
I'd love to play some on here if YouTube wouldn't give me a strike and I get sued. But yeah, so how did you ever get started on doing this? Like, how old were you and how'd you get started?
I don't know. I've always baked or cooked. Well, we were taught to do stuff like by high school.
Around the house? Or
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was more like you're in high school now and your mother left out Hamburg. Deal with it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I've always, liked baking. I didn't have a problem with, whatever. And then I started bringing stuff to Jeff's party because he kept asking me. And then after the peanut butter ones, I don't know. Apparently that went insane
Yes,
because I remember
Mm-hmm.
David texted me the next day. He goes, "What the hell did you put in those?" I was like, "Peanut butter?"
Crack.
Like, I didn't know what he was talking about. He's like, "No," he's like, "You left the party." And he's like, I kept trying to steer the conversation for like an hour. They talked about the damn cupcakes. And he's like, and I didn't want to talk about them anymore. I was like, okay. And it was Jeff who said, like, a couple years ago, you should just start a side business. And he's like, I'm going to be your first client. And he's like, bring some stuff to Erica's and, I'll pay you. And I was like, oh, all right. And so went kind of slow. And then it got a little bit more. And then someone asked me to do cakes. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I could decorate cakes nicely.
Just a bigger cupcake. That's all it is.
In our world, that's
so
what
easy.
It is.
Yeah, no, I mean, like getting the side smooth and all that kind of stuff, So then after that, everyone was like, oh, well, you do cakes? And I was like, oh, boy. And then it still was kind of semi-slow. And then the only thing good from COVID, yay, COVID, is it went psychotic from
Really?
April on. I've been nonstop. I've
Really?
had 2 weeks off, too.
Really?
2.
Now, how would somebody get a hold of you if they wanted to?
Either
Use
my
your,
Facebook or my phone number. But you'd have to identify yourself if you text me. I'd be like,
Do you have a Facebook page for it?
I don't. It's under my name, and then I have 3 albums. Sometimes you can look up D Sweet stuff because I think I made them public. 2 of them I made public. The first album I can't. It won't let me, for some reason, go back and
So
do
D's Sweet Stuff.
Sweet stuff. Yeah. How about Instagram? Do you have anything on there?
that. It's under my name.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna ask me.
You should really have a business page. We're gonna handle that right after this is done.
I know, but I've been so busy. It's crazy because I work, normal 40 hours, and then I do this, and then I own a home. Thank God for my mom. Sometimes I come home and my house is clean. It's wonderful.
Do you live with mom?
No,
Oh, she just comes over and
No,
does it.
she just
She
comes.
walks in.
Oh, man.
That's why my mom has a key.
She
Hell
walks
yeah.
in, does what she got to do.
Yeah,
Mary Poppins, boop, and just comes right out.
sure
and
does. There was one week I was so stressed. It was like, I don't know if it was October or November. I had so many cakes. It was insane.
Really?
And I was like, I'm stressing out. Nothing's clean. And she spent 2 hours cleaning my house. She did my laundry. She did I'm like, I love my mama.
Now, do you remember the first thing that you made? Like the first treat or first package that you made?
For this?
Yeah.
No, like your first time you ever made a dessert.
Yeah.
Oh,
do you
probably-
remember? You remember like you said you made it and you go, damn, I think I got something here.
Like we're going back.
And then it's I need to do that one again or
I don't know. Back in the day, we, you would still use the box cake. I think we did the pistachio cakes all the time.
Yeah,
Remember those?
yeah.
I actually made my first one homemade.
It's a good old reliable.
I did my first one homemade. I was like, I'm not doing the box thing like everyone, because
Right.
that's you do it with a box and seltzer, and then and I was like, no, I'm doing this homemade, and hopefully it came out good. And so Sandy, don't even try to get me to say her last name. We all went to high school together, and she loved it. So I was like, all right, well, that's good, because I'd never done it homemade before. But yeah, so maybe easy bake oven
Yeah.
back in the day.
And so this is something near and dear to my heart because my daughter's a baker. and she does all sorts of crazy things. And I mean, there's always desserts here, which I mean, you can tell. But I don't know what she originally was going to go to school for culinary arts and then switch to cosmetology, and that didn't work out. So now she's working at an animal hospital, and I think that's her niche. So, but I can see the passion that you have. Like, she had the same passion, and it's kind of it's neat to watch because she does the same thing. Like, she will just whip things together, and I don't like to see it until it's done.
Yeah.
And then she'll come in the room and she's like, Dad, check this out. I'm like, I don't know how you do that. You know, like, I have no.
I use a lot of YouTube. Well, I did when I first started, and I still do. If you know,
To try to find recipes or to see
to fine tune like how you're doing the design,
Right.
all of that kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Like
true.
if I've never done it, like the first actual cake I made for somebody was a rosette cake. So with the roses and then ombre. And I was like, I don't know
Wow.
how to do this. So I went on YouTube. I watched that video, I'm not even lying, like 50 times before I attempted it. And then when I started doing it, I'm like, oh, this is no big deal. It's like, but I think you have to have some sort of artistic ability.
It's also
so.
I mean, that's
true. It's true.
art. Like
Yeah.
looking at that right now, that's a work of art.
Like, I can smell them, and it's killing me.
Now, is there somewhere? I mean, is there anywhere local that you get? You know, like say like the tools and equipment that you need to bake, to cook, or do you do it all online? Like, do you order it online?
I'm a big Y shopper. Can I say I hate a store? No, I won't say that. That's bad. My
You
bad.
can say it rhymes with.
It's the other popular store I don't like. I just don't like them. And I get a lot of my bulk stuff at BJ's, a lot. And then a lot of stuff on Amazon, Joann's, Michael's.
Yeah. See, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like stores like Joann's and Michael's that got the small craft, the tools and supplies and things like that. Yeah.
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 I was lucky when I managed the Michael's store. You would find those people that came in looking for the Wilton stuff. So I'd always be like, "You're a baker?" And they'd be like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, well, the next time you're around." And I swear these people would bring stuff in.
Yeah.
And they don't forget.
Oh,
You know?
you knew who to talk to.
Oh, I did.
You knew who to seek out,
Yep.
man.
Sometimes I would come in, like, I'd work the night shift, and there would be a little, plate of something in my office. And one of my managers would be like, "Yeah, she just came in and dropped that off. She said you knew who she was." And there was so many that I had asked. I'm like, I don't know who
Well,
they
it's
are.
good advertisement too. So,
Right.
you
Yep.
know. But I would just say to anyone who's starting out, just keep practicing, because I look back at my first peanut, like when I decided to take the peanut butter cupcakes and make it into a cake. I look at the first one and I'm like, that is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. And everyone else was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I look at it, I'm like, were they smoking crack? Like, were they just trying to be, but they were like, no, we really liked it because we couldn't even do what you did. But I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, that's horrible
Yeah.
compared to what it looks like now. So in just 1 year, I went from like horrible to pretty good.
Now you said because of COVID you got busy this year.
Oh yeah.
Like what were the calls or quantities and things like that people were asking?
A lot of 6-inch cakes, or 8-inch cakes. Like if they had a family of 5 or 6, or cupcakes. Like, cause some of them were doing drive-by. I did 150 cupcakes for a baby shower.
Wow.
Talk about my mama being a gem. That woman stayed at my house. It literally took 8 hours on a Saturday, and she was there for most of it.
Wow.
8 hours.
Dag.
Yeah. That was, yeah.
I love seeing progress, and I can relate to how you started off one end. And, when I first started doing this, you almost get to that point in the beginning where, like, I'm not going to do this because it's just too much. And then that little voice in your head just keeps going, push yourself forward, progress, forward motion, and then, you buy some lights, and then you buy a couple cameras, and then things started to come together.
Well, that's why everyone's like, oh, you must make a ton of money. And I'm like, go look at that account. There's like hardly any money in there, because if someone says, I want a 10-inch cake, I'm like, oh, I don't have any 10-inch pans. Boom. Or I want, a 7x3 cake. I don't have that. I want a cake that looks like a book. Well, now I got to buy that. So no, it's, now maybe that I have almost every pan known to man, practically. I mean, I should be able to start but people think that. And then not only that, but with COVID, all the ingredients have gone way up. I mean, I only use pure vanilla, none of that imitation
Oh, wow.
stuff. That's like one of the first things I learned from my Italian grandmother and aunts and stuff. They were like, don't ever use imitation vanilla. You can totally tell the difference. So I actually want to make my own vanilla. So you buy it? You haven't made it yet? No, I just buy it. So it's expensive.
Yeah.
Isn't it like alcohol?
Yeah,
Like
you can
vodka
just
and
you
vanilla
can use
beans?
vodka, bourbon, whatever, but vodka and just you have to get grade B, I believe it is, vanilla beans, and you just slice them open and seal it up. And
I want to say my wife years ago tried to make her own vanilla. I don't know how close we got to it, but I can distinctly remember her making that I think from her mother.
takes a couple months.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, the longer you let it sit, obviously, the stronger taste. But
Okay. I'm learning some new stuff tonight.
I love it. I love it.
yeah.
I'll tell you, this is when we started talking about getting you on, we're like, this is going to be the best.
Yeah.
Because we love food.
Yes.
We love your food.
Yes.
And you're always the hit of the parties, man.
Check the box.
My favorite part is people are like, how do you not eat everything you make? And I'm like, oh, because I can't say to a client, sorry, I took a slice of your cake.
Right.
Like, I was like, is this really a serious question? Like, people are dead serious when they ask me this. And I'm looking at them like, because my face it's never just blank. It's like, and I'm like,
Tell it like it is.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I know you ordered 12 cupcakes, but oh, well, I wanted to eat one. Like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and once you make recipes enough, I mean, like this made an extra. So I did try a piece of it because it's a new recipe. Like, what if it tasted gross and you
Yeah.
are on here eating it and going, But other than that, it's like, no.
Now, do you cook good too? Or is baking your specialty?
Oh.
I think I'm a pretty good cook.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to cook?
Probably Italian food.
Yeah. Little eggplant parmesan.
I've never done eggplant parmesan, but for my grandfather, I used to make with eggplant and tomatoes and then just some Italian seasonings and a little bit of mozzarella, and you just bake it. Oh, my God, he loved it. It was so great. And I love to grill.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
Thanks to the shout out to my brother Jeff, who got me a grill.
Yeah, Jeff's
I'm
been
so spoiled.
Hey, do it all.
And then what's even best is my neighbor totally ratted him out. I was like, did you buy me a grill? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, yeah, too bad my neighbor ratted you out. They were like, yeah, it's your brother, the one that's shorter with the blonder hair, and totally ratted him out.
And then you got the neighbors smelling all this, all the aroma
I
that's coming out
feed
the
my
house.
neighbors. That's why they do stuff
Oh,
for
okay.
me.
All right.
I'll tell you, if my neighbor gave me some barbecue, I'd be like, let's
Well,
go.
that was gonna be my question because you got the aromas coming out of the house. You got the neighbors over there like, hey.
So the
can I-
86-year-old neighbor, she takes in my trash can every week, unless there's like ice or snow, because it blew away one time. And so because I feed them all the time, and then the guy across the street, I feed him and his wife and his daughter and her family live there. And so there's 5 of them. And so like the last storm we had, I woke up and it was cleared all the way up to my car. I'm like, thank you.
But there's like a line waiting up, like,
You're like, what else? What else you want us to do? We'll do anything else. What do you need?
it's getting close to spring. The smoker's going to be out. So, before I forget,
Oh, we got the wheel.
we got the wheel
We
here.
got
So
the
this is
wheel.
something new we're going to be doing from now on until we get this wheel filled. So let me get you a magic marker. So what we're going to do with this is, and you can see,
I'm laughing. I'm trying not to spit this out because I already see a couple
Yeah.
things on there.
so you see on there we have fear is 1.
Okay.
We have F, Marry, Kill on that. So you can add.
That was mine.
So these
I
are going to
don't
be
know what that-
topics. Okay. Fuck,
You
Marry.
have to pick somebody that you want to F, another person you want to marry, another person you want to kill.
Oh.
So what we would do is we would come up with the 3 people. Someone lands
I
on
have
it.
to.
And you would
then
say,
you would
out of those
yeah.
3 people, who you would, boom, boom, boom.
So we're gonna get interesting
Yeah.
because we're gonna, obviously we're gonna pick some
Oh.
crazy people. So like the first one here, our buddy Bob put fear on there.
Okay.
So these are all gonna be topics.
Okay.
So we can have segments of our podcast, so people can look forward to spinning the wheel, and then we're gonna be.
You're already
talking about.
nervous
So,
getting on the show, then it's going to
Yeah.
be more nervous when they spin that.
like when it comes to F, Marry, Kill, you're gonna be like, whoa.
I'm
like,
afraid of both of those. Do I have to spin this?
No. You're gonna,
Oh,
you,
good.
no,
You
no.
gotta add.
You're gonna add something.
You got to
to that.
add. You gotta,
Oh,
you gotta add
the
something.
pressure.
So when we get this all filled up, that's when we're gonna start spinning the wheel.
Should I do like truth or dare?
Ooh,
Anything.
that's a good one.
That is a good one.
That's a good one.
Ouch. And it gets better the older you get.
Sure does.
You think way back when you like truth or dare, you go, oh yeah, who cares, whatever.
Imagine someone's gonna hit
Now
that
you
and
get
they go,
older, you're like, oh
Do
shoot,
you like
get
grape
kinda
soda?
get worse.
I dare you to
They're gonna
kiss
hit that
his
when they're like,
forehead.
Can I spin again? So you put truth or dare?
I sure did.
Okay. So that's a good one. So I don't know how many more we got to fill.
We got 2, 4,
1, 2,
6,
3,
7.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 left to go, right? 7 left to go.
All right.
Just can I just say, like, if you do have me and my brothers on, like, we cannot play that game because I'm not saying anything about FM or K in front of my brothers. Oh, K maybe, but the other 2 no. I'm just throwing that out there
Hey.
because that's no.
Too bad I couldn't figure out how to have someone land on
That's
that
when you.
every
That's
time.
when you spin it and you just add a little
Right,
extra, little extra turn on there.
Or it's I'll take away your cupcakes.
Oh yeah, we're not doing that. You get a free pass on the wheel.
yeah.
Anytime you bring food, you're good. Yeah, you're in. So the next part of the podcast here, next segment, it's going to be, we just going to give you some different things that we're going to ask you. So what's your favorite word?
I don't know. I don't. Do I have a
Swear.
favorite word?
What's your favorite curse word? That's the next one.
Oh, I do use the
Got it.
F-bomb a lot.
You got a lot of them.
Yeah, my brothers
my
told me I'm
favorite.
disgusting.
It could be worse.
But my favorite word, I don't know if I have a favorite word.
Do you have a favorite phrase? Like if you blurted it out, and we didn't know you were in the room.
And they were like, "That's D."
That's D.
I don't know. You guys tell me.
I don't know what that is.
No, I'm saying, yeah. I was like, I don't know. Have you heard me say anything?
Swear.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah.
Stop.
Be like, yeah, there's D. Yeah, that's she's
Liar.
She drives an 18-wheeler.
You're just making crap up now.
It's only her that would put all those words together in
Yeah.
that phrase.
What words?
I can't say in the air.
Oh, hey.
So what about your favorite movie?
Oh, good God. On one spectrum, I love Singing in the Rain.
taking it back.
That's
she
right.
is.
All right.
Yes, she
That's
is.
right.
Classy.
But then, like, I don't know. I have like 1,000 favorite movies.
How about genre? What's your favorite?
Probably comedy. Yeah, I'd have to say comedy.
So what's your favorite comedy?
These are hard questions.
You're going home tonight.
This
You're
is
like,
this is
I
the whole
need-
podcast. You can't handle the ploof.
Yes.
It's coming at you
coming at you
know.
hard.
Damn it.
like this.
Or what did you watch over the past week? You're like, oh my God.
Oh, well, you can't ask that. It's Christmas time. Like, I am a Hallmark junkie.
Ugh.
I know. Like, he's like, ugh. Listen, that's how I got through all of these cupcakes. All the baking. Hallmark, man. Christmas movies.
My mom was a big Hallmark in Lifetime. I think I called her a couple weeks ago and she was watching something from Lifetime.
The Italian Job. I love The Italian
That's a
That was
Job.
just on the
flick.
other day, I think.
It's a good
too.
flick.
That movie is one of my top favorites.
What's your favorite movie?
Coming to America. I'll
That's
get you.
what-
I'll get you.
The
like
second
that.
one's coming out. Did you see the thing?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did. I did. I'm a little hezzy on some of the scenes I saw, but I you never know. you never know, but always either sophomore albums or part 2s are always.
Yep.
So I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
But I'm not a slapstick fan. Hardly.
No?
It's very, no.
So like a Jim Carrey, Monty Python, not your
I
gig?
hate Monty Python.
Are you serious?
That just brought back something. That look on the face just brought back something.
I liked you all until now.
We watched Holy Grail one time,
The best.
and my friends were like, "You slept through the whole thing." I said, "No, I didn't. It was a stupid movie." They're like, "Yes, you did. You slept." And I said, "No, I did not." And I proceeded to quote almost the whole movie. They're like, "You didn't laugh." I'm like, "Because I didn't find it funny."
Oh, wow. I can't believe I'm
Yeah.
hearing this.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
Sorry.
I can't always agree.
What's your favorite comedy?
Well, one second. My wife, the first time I had her over my house, all my roommates were watching the Holy Grail, and she did the same thing. Just sat
Yeah.
there. And
That's
I'm like,
like-
I don't know if this is going to work out here.
Okay, so my friend Terrell loves Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah. Not a fan. These are.
I sat
it's
the
slow.
entire time. She's cracking up, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's up and down.
"This is
It's
horrible movie."
Yeah, it's up and down.
I said, "You just wasted my time for. I can't get those hours back." That was bad.
Yeah.
Chickens have talons.
So my first movie, I'll break it up for you because I have a lot of. It all depends on the genre. So sci-fi would have to be Star Wars, hands down.
You got push to get your nerd on. There
Hands
you go.
down, hands down. I'm also a big King Arthur fan.
Really?
Yeah, I love that
Really?
movie. Yeah. So I also love Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. That was a great flick. What else would I watch over and over and over again?
Did you ever see Insider Man?
That sounds familiar. Why does that sound so
What the-
familiar?
I've seen Spider-Man, but I haven't seen Insider Man.
That's horrible.
Dad joke.
Wow. For real?
Nah, I haven't. I don't even know what that is.
I think it's Jodie Foster in it, Denzel Washington. It's really good.
Okay. All right.
It's about a guy like he's taking money from a bank or whatever from a bank.
Insider Man. All right.
You've really never
No,
seen
I've
it?
never even heard.
Oh,
of
I
it.
saw this. Yeah.
It's
So the guy
good.
that plays in that movie was the guy in King Arthur. See what his name is right here.
Is that like a 90s, 2000s movie?
2006.
Damn.
Actually, hold on one second. Yes, it was 2006. Yeah, that was a good flick.
Mhm.
That was a really good flick.
It's like you're through the whole thing. You're just like trying to figure out who's with this guy and who's not with this guy,
Right.
and you cannot tell. And at the end, you're like, "Whoa,
Is Denzel a bad guy or a good guy in it?
he's a good guy."
He's a good guy.
I like almost every one of his movies.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Like, you cannot go
so
wrong.
Clive Owen was the one I was talking about from King Arthur. That was the guy. He's played in a lot of good flicks. What's the one where they couldn't have kids in the future? Of Men and
Guys
Men
got
and
big, yeah.
of Mice and Men, I think it's called.
Oh yeah, I've never seen it, but yeah.
That was a good flick too. I'm a big movie buff. So this room in here used to be a theater room at one time. This whole wall.
You would think that I saw like a million movies because I worked at Hollywood Video and Blockbuster, so I just gave my age away. But
Hollywood
I really
Video had
did.
that side room.
Yeah.
When people brought those kind of movies up to the counter, was it uncomfortable for you or just let it go?
Blockbuster Video.
No, Hollywood Video.
Oh,
did.
Hollywood. You know those movies that came from the back.
They
Yep.
didn't have back room.
Oh, yes, they did.
Yeah.
Not the one I was at.
Not that I would know. That's what I've been told.
Not the one that I was at.
Which one did you work at?
The Plaza, Springfield Plaza.
Yes.
I
Oh,
remember
no,
that
she's right. She's right. It wasn't Hollywood Video.
I'm like, I know it wasn't.
Yeah, yeah.
I worked.
But what
I-
was the one in the Big Y Plaza right around the corner?
Oh, I don't know.
Yikes.
Oh, I forget the name of that one, but it was kind of like an
Yikes.
up and coming
Oh.
place that had the special room. Yep. Like you walk by and people would look at you and be like,
you put the two movies. You put that one on
It's
the
like
bottom,
that
put the other one on
stupid
top.
stupid curtain that was supposed to keep everyone out. Like
isn't that
Princess Bride, that's an awesome movie.
that was
That's
good. That was
classic.
funny.
That's classic.
That is the best movie ever.
That's
You
classic.
killed my father, prepare to die. Yeah. That was a good flick. Yeah, so I was a big movie buff and I still am. So when I built this theater room, I mean, you wouldn't even recognize this room from when I had it before. I had leather couches down here, had movie posters up everywhere. This was a 140-inch screen right here from wall to wall. And I built it thinking that a lot of people would come here and enjoy movies all the time. And it was, it was a fad for a little while. But when my wife had her subarachnoid hemorrhage, movies aren't a thing anymore. We don't go to movies. She can't be around the
sound too.
Yeah, the sound and the movement will she'd be in a coma by the time we were done. So that kind of put a damper on it. So this was a fishing room for a long time. Obviously, you guys can't see it, but there's a 6-foot-long saltwater tank there. And I have 2 fish left. Those guys,
Like
some
this.
Nemos.
these guys right here, OGs, no matter what happened. So my heaters went in that when it first started getting cold. And I came downstairs and they were literally kind of at the bottom. I knew something was up right away. So I have these emergency heat packs. I threw those in. Had my wife run to the fish store, grab me a couple heaters. And they lived through all sorts of stuff, these guys, man. These guys
Saltwater tanks ain't no joke, man.
they're hard to keep up.
Yeah.
But this thing's going strong. So it's for sale, though. Anybody wants to buy it, let me know.
Yeah. What's the dimensions on there, Pluff? What you got?
It's a 110-gallon
There you go.
Red Sea aquarium.
All right.
It's 6 feet long by 2.5 feet high and 2.5 feet in depth.
There it is.
So
Put that post out there.
I had it on Facebook for like the longest time, and nobody wanted anything to do with it. And I will almost give the thing away. I probably have like $5,000 worth of stuff. That live rock right there was almost $1,000 of live rock.
Do you remember to feed them?
Oh yeah, I feed them every day. Yep. Yep. They love when I have people over too. That's when they come out and they usually get closer. A lot of times you'll see them right at the edge of this glass.
They're the two, in the audience right now. They're watching.
Yep. They know. Right now they're just chilling,
Yeah, trying to play it off like they ain't listening, but
They're like, this guy always wakes us up. So, if you could go back in time and have dinner with 3 people, who would it be?
Go back in time. Like
No relatives.
Oh, okay. So like
you're all at the dinner table.
I'm horrible at this game. Why did you not prepare me?
Because this is part of the
This is
podcast,
it.
man.
He's like, he's coming at you.
Man.
Coming at you.
Julia Childs.
Oh, hello. Okay.
And why is that? Huh?
Well, I wonder why.
Damn, you could get some good.
She was actually really fun to watch.
Yeah.
She was.
Because she was like drunk half the time.
That's okay.
Yeah, I am.
Whatever she got to do to get through the day.
Let's see. Who's like I think is Rosemary Clooney still alive? I was thinking about her. Because I like her. I would have dinner with her.
Give you 2. Go ahead.
Who is she? Is it George Clooney's wife?
No.
Oh, here she is.
She
And
was
that
in
is-
She was an
White
American
Christmas,
singer.
my favoriteest movie of all time.
She
White
came-
Christmas?
Oh, I love that movie.
Damn, you're going back with these movies, huh? All right.
I love
Oh, she's a Mambo
musicals.
Italiano. Hey, Mambo.
Hey.
I love
Mambo
musicals.
Italiano. Go, go, go. I
was gonna say you said comedy was your genre. I was like, nah, I think musicals is
Well,
your-
musical,
Yeah.
but I do like comedies
Yeah.
too. So, I don't know about the third person. Who would it be?
yeah.
Oh, what's his name? Bob
Say-
Ross.
Oh,
I love
Some
him.
pretty trees. Want some-
Yes,
some
because I
trees?
paint too. So why
oh,
not?
do you really?
Yeah, I don't want to paint my walls. So if anyone wants to paint my walls, I will give you cupcakes.
No, that's your neighbors. You got some neighbors.
you gotta
that
get
can-
them
No,
on the
I don't have
program.
any young neighbors. They're all old. I'm surrounded by the elderly.
Well, they have to have kids and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
they got grandkids. You get their You gonna tell me none of their grandkids don't want some sweets?
Right, but do you want teenagers like painting your house? No,
Depends what kind of teenagers, though. That's the thing.
because
You can just they might take care of that.
junior high and down I can deal with.
Ah.
Teenage like high schoolers, just I don't know. I have no patience for them.
I hate painting too. Painting is not my.
I would
My
rather
mother-
take my eye out with a spoon.
My
for
mother
real.
painted. She was artsy and all that, but
I like painting, just not the wall.
I'll do that. I'll do that, but to do artwork or something, no, can't do it.
Oh wow, I have like 6 paintings hanging
Yeah.
that I did.
Yeah. So if you could go back in time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you say?
Do not go to school for social work and be nicer to my brother's friends because they all keep reminding me for the rest of my life how mean I was at that age.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
All of y'all. You were mean. But then I always say, but I lived with David, Jeff, and Frank. And then you all agree why I was mean.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Those guys will bring it out in you.
Only woman there.
And probably, I don't know, live life a little bit fuller.
Yeah.
I was very studious.
Were you really?
Yeah. Yep.
I wish I was a little bit more.
I was
I
never.
missed
I was not.
a 75% off scholarship at Elms College by like point, I don't know, something stupid. Like I graduated with like an 89 point
Ouch.
something. So, and you needed a 90 for 75% off.
They wouldn't round up.
They sure would
That
not.
one.
So, yeah.
Bastards.
That one D you didn't circle on that test.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
This physics, man. Physics killed me.
That
You only have
last-
to remember what goes up comes down.
that last formula.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know what it was about that class. I sucked.
So if you had to pick your last meal, what would that be?
Last meal. Probably a steak because I don't eat steak all that often. So definitely steak,
How do you want it cooked?
medium rare.
With what? What are the sides?
Oh, with what?
Because the sides tie it all in.
Okay.
Ouch! This is a
This
dinner. That's a plate right there.
Yeah. Probably if I'm going to die, mac and cheese because, you know, if you're going to go, what the
Right.
hell
Yep.
at this point? And a nice salad because I like salad.
Are you going with the salad?
I
Really?
love
As your last
salad.
meal?
But why not?
That's
She's
Part
gonna go.
of
She's
it.
gonna go. She's gonna go healthy,
That is
but
savage.
have that mac and cheese with it too.
That is
But
savage.
it's refreshing, like amongst all the heaviness.
Wow. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't see the salad coming,
And ice cream,
but I respect the salad.
What kind of ice cream?
any kind, and as long as it doesn't have nuts in it.
Oh.
I love ice cream.
Wow.
It's like my favorite dessert.
We have ice cream all the time.
I will have ice cream. It don't matter how cold it is. Don't matter how hot it is. I will have ice cream.
And I'm lactose intolerant. I'm just gonna throw it out there, you know. So ice cream is not, and I know the minute I eat it, this is gonna suck later.
As soon as you open that freezer, that stomach is just.
Don't do it.
Yep. I look at my wife. I'm like, I gotta go.
Jeff walks down the dairy aisle at the grocery store. She's
Oh my gosh! If I ever had to give up like ice cream or cheese
Oh.
or coffee, someone would die.
no way.
I remember
way.
back in the day, my doctor says you got to get those lactose pills. Yeah, those things are a joke. My body laughs at those like they're nothing. Waste of money, man. So yeah, one more question, and I actually really like this question. What does being human mean to you? Or what aspect of being human do you think that is really important?
Making you think today.
I know, man.
See the steam.
Yeah.
You know, Mondays are tough, man. Why? An aspect of being human. First of all, just like in general, kindness, obviously. And we all have our days where we're jerks. I have my days. I'll go from 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. It would piss me off. Like, it's crazy. But then, like, 5 seconds later, I'm like, are we going for coffee? So, like, we're all can be jerks or whatever. But just in general, kindness and just, I don't know, some empathy for some people. There's times where I'm just like, dude, buck it up. But there's some times where you just, you have to be there for your friends. I guess for more of your friends than anything. Just like, that's one thing I learned when I was in Washington. I really missed the culture here because your friends will die for you here. Where there, they just drop you like a hot potato, and I wasn't used to that. And I was
wow.
what is that? And I'm like, never realized how much I missed my friends. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
DC or the state?
The state.
The state, yeah. That's the reason I was asking is like
Yeah.
the distance being away. Like obviously DC, you can still kind of get back home a little bit.
But it was the culture there.
Yeah.
That's just how they are. Like I don't get that. Like they're like, New Englanders are mean. I'm like, y'all are mean. Like,
Yeah.
what do you like? You don't even like. You're not even committed to your friends. I think that's what it is, more commitment to like the people that. I'm very big on that. Like just commitment to the people that you're friends with or your family. Don't back out just because of a stupid reason. Like make it a valid reason if you can't make it.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So just things like that, I guess. And just, and just looking out, like how we were talking about how like I feed my neighbors, but I don't really do it for favors. Like I never knew they were going to do me favors. I just did it because I was like, well, I don't need 6 cupcakes lying around here and I work with 30 people. So that's not going to work. So I'm just going to feed my neighbors, you know what I mean? And put a smile on their face,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty blessed here with my neighbors. We do a lot for each other, and it all comes at different times. You know what I mean? And it's funny, when I lived in Springfield, I was on that street for 11 years. The day we're moving out, I have all these people coming to me. Oh, I can't believe you're moving out. I'm like, I don't even know who you are. But I was always that person would drive down the street, wave to everybody. Right. Nobody would wave back. It was a really weird place to live.
But they all remembered you, meaning
yeah.
But they knew you as the guy that drove
that
by
waved.
all the time. Like, hey, that's the dude that waved. Now you're leaving. That's why they came back. Like, oh, where are you going? Hey.
Yeah, and the house has been foreclosed on a couple times since we left. So it's just been really weird. Like, we had a nice in-ground pool in the back. I just Google Earthed it the other day. They filled it in.
Yeah.
It's grass. Yeah, it was a nice. We had it really nice. I liked living there. I liked living in Springfield, but when our daughter was getting ready to go into kindergarten, Cheryl's like, we're not putting her in public schools here. So I'm like, oh, all right. And so we moved in with her parents for a little while and then came out this way.
Right.
And but I enjoyed it. I was there for 11 years. And I was there way before her, and everything was right there.
Yeah.
We had a Springfield Plaza right there. All the food, the bars I was 10 minutes from downtown Springfield.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't beat that, The way home when you're shit-faced was pretty quick. Then we had the Hookie Lau 5 minutes
right
the
there.
other way.
Hookie Lau was right there.
where you could get drugged.
That's how I think I got my wife to fall in love with me, was Johnny the bartender at the
I was
Hookie
like,
Lau.
what, you drugged her? I was like, what? Okay.
No, he was pouring her
Don't
stiff
touch
drinks.
my coffee.
And then he would
That's how they did it at the bar over there, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
And every time you give her a drink, he'd wink at me. And next thing you know, she was.
And now you know why I don't drink.
Yeah.
So, what do you do for work?
I'm an ophthalmic technician.
Explain what that
And
is.
that
Because we
is-
talked about it
yes.
before, and I was like, what is that?
I work for eye surgeons. So I pretty much do your eye exam, go over your medical history, check your vision, refraction.
Now, are we looking at Dr. Verderber right here? Or?
No. Yeah, right.
That's what I start calling her now.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
doctor.
Doctor. Dr. V.
So we, update your glasses, check your angles, check your eye pressure, get you dilated, and then ship you off to the MD.
So you're looking at a new pair of spectacles right now.
Nice.
1 week old.
Nice.
I had to go with the transitions. They call them now.
I might have to go that route soon.
Oh, you mean progressive?
Yes. Yeah.
See, look at it.
Yeah,
See, it's
yeah.
getting-
Transition is when they get darker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, these are progressives. I'm at that age now where things up close suck. And it took me like the first 2 days. I was like, I don't know if I can wear these. Because you have that hourglass
Mm-hmm.
feel to it.
So they're not bifocals.
Yeah,
They are bifocals.
they are. Yeah.
It's a no-line trifocal, basically.
I think that's what I need.
Yeah. So if I'm looking at something, I have to look at it kind of dead on.
Right.
And then, but now I'm so used to it, like I can transition right back and forth without any problems. And I actually drove with them for the first time yesterday and without a
Yeah.
hitch. Yeah. But I was scared because I walked outside and I was like, when to go down the steps, I thought the world was like spinning. You know,
Where do you go for your eye exams? Watch, you probably won't even know.
I do.
Oh, you do?
I went to, so we have phenomenal eye insurance,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't know. I mean, I knew we had, but I didn't know it was that good. So I called my doctor's office, and they don't carry that. They don't deal with that insurance, which is insane. But I've been going there since I was a little kid, and I've been paying out of pocket just to go there.
Where?
Dr. Momney's
Oh, okay.
in Chicopee.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm talking since a little kid I was there. So we called, I threw it on Facebook, and then someone told me about Ludlow Eye Associates. So we went down there and had a great experience. I was there on the wrong day.
Yeah.
So they told me Wednesday.
Strike one.
They told me Wednesday the something. So I just got the Wednesday in my head. I didn't put the date together.
So not only can you not see, you can't hear.
I needed a hearing exam. So I'm in the parking lot. I call him, and she's like, "You're supposed to be here yesterday." I'm like, "Oh." And she's like, "Don't worry. Get in here. We'll take care of you."
Damn. At least you lucked out on that end.
Yeah.
But you're getting older, so you should go to one of kind of like my facility. Doesn't have to be my facility, but I'm just saying.
Well, now where's this
Yeah, I
facility?
was gonna say, and where is that? Because I'm taking a mental note right now.
Springfield Eye Associates,
Springfield ISO located at.
3640 Main Street in Springfield.
Okay, all right. Damn.
What was it called again?
Springfield Eye Associates.
Okay, that's
Go
right.
past
that's right
Dr.
across from me.
Momney,
Yep. Just keep going
past
straight.
the meth clinic. Every day.
I almost killed one of those people before. So I'm going down the street to go to the old Comcast building, and I'm paying attention, thank God.
Oh, they stop in the middle of the road every day.
This girl ran out in the street,
Yeah.
and I had to go into the other lane. Thank God no one was coming. But I thought I hit her with the rearview with the side mirror, and she just sat there. So I stopped, I pulled over, I got out of the car, and the security guard screaming at her. He's like, "You're good. You never touched her." I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Hell
I did
no.
one of these.
They stop the cars in the middle. Like there's all this parking and they'll stop a car just to let someone out. I'm like,
That's crazy.
Yep. Yep.
it's so aggravating.
Springfield Eye
Associates.
Associates. Okay.
But see, as you get older, you need to see an MD if you know, for cataracts, glaucoma, macular degeneration, diabetes, etc. So
I don't have any of that yet, but I'm sure.
Learning a lot tonight.
I'm a plethora.
What's the craziest eye thing you've ever seen?
Oh. The optometrist was like, he's like, "Now, Deanna," he's like, "come in," and he goes, "but don't laugh." I'm like, what the hell is wrong with these people? They know what I'm like. Why do they do this crap to me? So I walk in and he's like, "I just want Deanna to look at your contacts because I'm teaching her." And so, because this is the optom. And he says, "So how do you see out of your contacts?" And she's like, "Oh my God, I see so wonderful." And I look in and then I look at him and I'm like, what? She literally had a hole in the middle of her entire contact. So there's no way she was looking through anything.
This was just
It was like a perfect hole, like a hole puncher just punched it right through. And I was like, and she's like, "Oh yeah, they're super comfortable." Now anyone knows that that's going to feel like something's in your eye.
Yeah.
And she's like, "And I see wonderful." And I'm like, what?
how'd she have a hole? How did the hole even?
I don't know. I don't know what she
Yeah.
did, how she did that. I don't know if it was her fingernail or putting it away. I don't know.
See, and I've never had contacts.
And I started off at
Scared to
Lens
get-
Crafters.
Are you really? Oh, I love them.
Scared to do contacts.
I only put them only because I've been working from home today. So I put these on. I've been wearing these all day.
I just feel my hands are just always touching, grabbing, doing something, and then to sit there and get all in there. And no, I can't do it.
I still got to use the mirror though.
Yeah.
My wife just pops them right in. I need that mirror. I need that 5 seconds to put them in. You know.
Yeah, I started off at Lens Crafters, and people would girls would come in all the time, and they're like, "We want contact lenses like yours." I'm like, "What do you mean like mine? We love your eye color. We want contact." I'm like, "But I don't have contact color lenses." I'm like, sorry. They're like, "What color is that?" I'm like,
now, do you guys do
DNA?
color contacts if you wanted them?
Our optom does, yes.
Oh, really? Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, we have an optometrist who does the contacts.
Yeah. Yeah. Eye care is so important, man.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm going to be better at as time goes on, because I would get glasses and use those for like 3 years. I don't ruin my glasses.
I'm the same way.
You know what I mean?
I'm the same way.
But talking to my doctor when I went, he kind of gave me the spiel. He's like, "Listen, man, you're getting older now. You gotta pay attention a little bit more."
That's why
in my family, my father's got that's why he doesn't drive. He stopped driving a few years back because his just eyes got bad. But he would tell us all the time, go, I don't know, annually, few times a year. He's like, make sure you guys do it. Make sure you guys do it. So, I mean, I do it. Try to change up glasses every now and then, but I definitely gotta update my freaking vision sucks.
Yeah.
And public service announcement for everyone who's a technician in this field. People, please bring your medication list. Bring your glasses. Oh, I didn't know I needed to bring my glasses. Well, you bring your teeth to the dentist, right? Just saying.
Ouch.
Well,
Ouch.
they just don't bring their glasses, or they're like, I use them to drive, and I'm like, but we're still checking your vision.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's probably a question they'll ask and be like, what are you wearing right now?
Exactly.
I left them on the dresser.
Yeah.
So that is a good point.
Or they'll come in for a contact lens check without their contacts. Well, I didn't know. Well, how are we going to check them?
Yeah.
Yep. So
just for that, I'm gonna go book an appointment and just leave my glasses at home. just for that reason.
You're gonna see the eye.
Like you told me to do it. I don't listen to nobody. Do what I want. So my wife, with her brain injury, her eyes work independently of each other. So if you look at her eyes, they're never together. They're always offset, or one's over here. When we went to the first neuro-ophthalmologist, it's the first thing he noticed. He sits down on the chair and he goes, "Whoa, I don't see this very often." He goes, "Do you have a brain injury?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's looking at a chart. He goes, "Yeah, it's right here." He goes, "I should have looked at this before you came in." But he had all this super unbelievable high-tech equipment. Like, she went into this thing, and it looked all the way back, and he could see damage all the way back there. Like, they were really, and I'm no doctor, so I can't remember what the terminology was, but he helped her with all these new exercises and everything. He wasn't going to fix it, but he tried to kind of tighten it up a little bit. Sometimes you look at her, and you're like, wow, I can always tell when she's having a bad day, because they're very extreme, you know. And when we met her neurologist for the first time, first thing he did was gave her a quick eye exam, and he looks at me and he goes, "This is not normal." And he goes, "Do you see it?" And I'm like, "I see that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't understand what that is." You know, and with her headaches and everything, as the headaches get worse and worse and worse, that gets worse and worse. It's almost like it's tied together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then she'll start having double vision, and, you know, it goes on and on and on. So I think that is not helping her headaches every day, but there's nothing they can do about it. It is what it is. They tried giving her prism glasses for a while. That helped for a little while, but then it's like the body got used to it.
Yeah, you have to keep adding more and more. Yep.
Yeah, so she was done. Like, she's like, I'm not going to keep doing this constantly, but it's a very interesting field.
Now you work, like all day, and then still come home and have time to bake, cook, or, you got a package that you got to get together, still have to, like, midnight, 1 a.m.
Burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah.
No, I won't stay up till midnight. Maybe on a Friday or Saturday
Right.
if I have to, but no. So everything I have to do during the week is
Right.
minimal.
Mm-hmm.
So if something's due, like, on a Thursday, I might make, the cake and then wrap it really tight and then do the frosting and all that stuff the next night.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a couple jobs this week already. Like,
Did you ever
So-
you ever think about joining like Cake Wars or anything like that?
Yeah, you've
I
done
think
any
that'd be
you've
awesome.
done any contests?
No.
No contest, huh?
No.
Ah.
Nope. You need like kid versions of these. It keeps falling off.
You still have a little bit more room. You can
Yeah.
tighten them. So I usually just
Really?
push. Yeah, just push in the bottom. You should be able to tighten them up. There you
Yeah,
go.
you still got room on the left
Yeah.
side.
Okay.
She's kids version. Do you have anything in a size like 9-year-old kid?
Size midget.
We were laughing earlier. To get the right camera shot, we have to make everybody squeeze in, and she's
Yeah.
like, I can't touch the ground.
I have to sit on the edge of the chair.
That's why we got the camera up here, because the feet will be dangling like a roller coaster down there.
She's
I'm
sitting
like
on a phone
Edith
book.
Ann. Do you guys know who Edith Ann is?
No,
Come on.
what's
Look
her
it
name? Let's look
Edith
her up.
Ann.
Edith Ann.
First picture is
Oops. Oh, remember? Yeah, you remember her.
Oh.
She
Show
was.
oh. Oh my! Oh,
Remember her?
I know that.
What
is.
show was that on?
That's
I don't know the show, but I just know she was like, her feet were in
She was on Sesame Street. Let's see here. Oh, it was Lily Tomlin.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Lily Tomlin.
Yep.
Was that Laughing?
Laughing. That could have been it. TV shows. She was on.
Well, I know she was.
She was on Laughing.
Yeah.
She was on some cartoons. Yeah, she had a pretty good career. She was pretty funny too.
Yeah.
And she's going way back with
Yeah,
some of
I
this stuff
know
today.
everything. Jeez.
You are an old soul.
I know. I
I
always
hit you
said-
up for all those like trivia nights that I got, like phone a friend. When I need something, I'm gonna hit you up. Shoot.
And anything to the 50s and back. I know who I'm
Yeah.
calling from now.
Yeah, like, my mom, like, if like doo-wop came on, I'm like, I love this music. She's like, I hate this music. I'm like, you were born
Yeah.
then. I said we should have switched or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm a big Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra. I really enjoy that.
I watch all those roasts all the time.
Those are so funny.
Don
man.
Wrinkles, all when he just, I mean, you couldn't do all his stuff now. You couldn't do that right now. No way. All his freaking roast material.
And they hammered on each other too.
Yeah.
Man. There was no.
Yeah,
holds
it was no
Yep.
holds barred, man.
Yep. It's
It's
crazy.
good stuff. That's a good stuff.
It was. It was. But this is another thing we didn't know about you.
That I'm an old soul.
Yeah.
No, but you like the good the good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, taking it back.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Thanks.
See that, and that's the other thing about we get guests on here, or when we talk, we just find
See,
again.
all you guys knew about me was that I was mean when I was young and that I don't drink. That's all
So
you
I
knew.
never thought you were mean. That's the last thing I would kind
You
of.
never mean no. I don't
No.
think you were. I'd never seen it.
I think Barron always said that, but I'm like, well, dude, to you, like, hello, I'm gonna be mean to you. And I still am. He's so loud. Oh my God, if you ever had him on this show, you'd have to turn the mic off and you'd still hear him perfectly. You know what I'm talking about.
I know you're talking about. I know you're
Love
talking
you,
about.
Barron.
So do you get political like your brothers?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's your hot button?
My hot button.
Making D think tonight.
Cheers.
You know.
No, I'm just determining whether I should say it or not. Yeah.
It's just local. It's not worldwide, anything like that.
Not yet. We're working our way.
It's just a YouTube. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, that one I'm not going to say because that's, let me see. I don't know. Like, just anyone who will give away their freedom, that ticks me off. Like, it's just ridiculous. And then, like, right now, the topics of forcing people to get vaccines, I'm just like, oh, so it's my body, my choice. when it comes to abortion, but it's not my body, my choice when you're telling me to inject myself with something. Sorry.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know, that's a topic I have a lot. Okay?
But then someone says, well, because the second one is because you're harming other people. Well, I don't want to be harmed by what I'm being injected with. So sorry.
I don't think anybody's ever thought about it on that level.
Yeah.
Because, like, for example, I have an autoimmune disease. I have psoriatic arthritis, which makes me be on Humira and methotrexate, and I've been on prednisone for a year. Oh my God, I want to get off it so bad. So I'm starting to like wean off it. But the reason I was on it for so long is because we were just trying to figure out what was, like, my ankle was just swelling, the joints, my fingers.
It's painful.
Horrible. And then you have the 80-year-olds that are like, you're too young for that. No, it's autoimmune and it starts in your 40s. That's the statistic. Sorry. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to be 50 soon. No, I'm not. Like, that's what happens. It's like, and it's not even like something you can control. It's
Right.
just appears.
Right.
But I don't want to inject myself with something when I'm on all these other things because I don't know what it's going to do. Like, my immune system is already low, and now you could try to tell me all you want that it's going to keep me from getting COVID or keep me from getting the flu. I took the flu shot this year just because my job really asked us to. And my primary care was like freaking out, like, oh my God, you're on all this stuff. But I've rarely take the flu shot, like, and I've never had the flu.
Right.
So why am I going to inject myself with something that I don't really need? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I always found it really interesting, and I've had these conversations a bunch of times, and it's funny how it starts off with this, oh my God, and then we finally get to so my body, my choice. I am 100% supportive of that. But it's funny, so I'm also a supporter of the Second Amendment. And when I tell people that, some people who aren't supporters, they blame all the shootings that happen, all the murders that, on me, like I had something to do with it. And in general, they blame me,
Well, what I say to people about that, like with the whole gun control thing, because that's stupid too, because I look at them and I'm like, oh, because making drugs illegal has stopped it from coming in the United States, hasn't it?
Well, you know, and it's like for me, when I talk about it, it seems very rational, right? But somebody who you're talking to, they just go up to DEFCON 4 with it. Yeah. And we don't, so I bring them back into, well, what's your stance on abortion? Well, I'm definitely pro-choice. Well, I don't like abortions, but I'm pro-choice. I'm not a woman. I don't walk in a woman's shoes. Therefore, I should really not have a right to tell a woman what to do. So I lead off with that afterwards, and they get confused. I said, so if it's my body, my choice, I would like to protect the only life that I have. Mm-hmm. My job isn't to go out there and protect anybody. That's not my job. My family comes first.
But why do they not understand that? Why do they not understand that if you're saying, like, this is to flip the perspective of it. So they don't want you to have a gun because they don't want you to protect yourself or to kill someone, but they're saying it's okay to abort a baby at 7 months, which could live technically if it was born on its own. So
it's a weird conversation.
So it makes zero sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And in those conversations usually just go round and round and round. And I have to finally just at one point say, listen, we're just not going to be on the same page here, but you're coming from a position where you like to take my right away. Mm-hmm. So if fair is fair, I should have the right to go after that. And then they're like, oh, it goes back into a different kind of argument, right. So I always try to explain, like, we are being human in living in this environment. We have a lot of different angles, right? Just be respectful of those angles. Mm-hmm. And,
And that's my point is, like, so many people are like, oh, well, my body, my choice. And so I feel all women should have the right to abort. But by the way, I want you to stay home and I want you to wear a mask and I want you to get injected. And I can't believe you wouldn't do any of that. Well, I can't believe you would do that. What's your point? Like, so like,
It is
you know
weird.
what I mean?
Yeah,
it is
So
weird.
don't tell me what to do. It's like, if you're going to run around saying my body, my choice, then don't demand me to inject myself with something that I don't want to.
Right.
That's like, you know, walking up to somebody and being like, yeah, I know you're not a heroin addict, but tough crap, you know? Like, sorry. Which, of course, I'm sure you'll get backlash on that because that's not the same as heroin. Yes, I understand that. It's the analogy, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the analogy of being forced to inject something in your body that you don't want to.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I'm going to be working on in the future is I really want to get people on too that have a difference of an opinion. And I want to drill down and I want to
Because that's going to be coming up. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the wave of, you know, people getting it, people waiting, people that already got it, their second dose is going to be coming up, and then it's you know, people that already got it, you know, they got the vaccine. I'm talking about not COVID, but
Right.
that got the vaccine. You know, they're like, let's see what happens. You know, what's going to happen to them, and then their second dose is going to be coming in while there's going to be still people on their first. You know, and then it's going to be like, you know, who's got what? Who's got this? You know, who's getting it? You know, is it the elderly? Is it this person? Is it this? It's like,
Yeah, someone asked me today, he's like, so how many of you have gotten your vaccine? I'm like, first of all, I'm not answering that. Like, it's not your business.
Damn business.
And it's HIPAA. I'm not telling you who in this office is going to get it, wants to get it, doesn't want to get it.
Oh, somebody just came into the office and
Yeah,
asked.
I was working him up, and he was like,
straight
yeah,
up.
I was working him up, and he's like, so how many people? And I said, first of all, it's not even available to the average person right now. It's available to doctors and probably nurses, but people like technicians and stuff, it will be coming up soon, but it's not like we're not the priority. You know what I mean? Like doctors are because they're doing surgery and stuff like that. But I was like, you can't just where's this mentality? Like, I've never walked into my doctor's office and people are like, oh, it's because you work in a doctor's office. No, even before I worked in a doctor's office, I never like looked at my doctor and said, so what have you injected yourself with? What number of okay, so you graduated and there's 1,000 people. What number were you? Like, you know what I mean? The question, like, we're questioned all day long. Like, what's your education? How long have you been doing this? And so that was.
I would have so much fun with that, though.
Oh my God.
I'd be like, yeah, I started this morning.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's my first day.
It's my first day. But it's crazy. But yeah, they asked, he legit was like, how many people? And I said, I'm not answering that. I said,
That's ridiculous.
I said, I'm not answering that. Well, have the doctors gotten theirs? I'm not answering that. That's not your business. I said, it's a HIPAA violation. He's like, well, HIPAA is ridiculous because that's just going to harm us more because since we won't be able to know. And I said, okay. I said, so if that's true, then that means I can go into your job and tell them to give me all of your information.
Right.
Yeah.
And
hold
exactly.
Hold on. I didn't mean it like that.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
F you, guy.
But
Whoever that was that said it, F you.
But that was, you know, I was like trying to explain to him, like, that's the point of HIPAA is like, you wouldn't want someone walking into your job and asking your boss to lay out all your information, like your health issues, what your health insurance is, what your medications are.
Right.
Like, you wouldn't want that. Like,
Yeah.
so why, you know, in my head, I'm like, why do you think you could come here and do that? Like,
Yeah.
but they do. They think they can
Tried
just
to catch you. Tried to catch you off. That's why he was asking.
Oh, we have to go over allergies. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. Ready? Because I am registered as an independent, but I am so sick of hearing the politics like all day long. So I was going over. I was like, so any allergies to any medications, latex or shellfish? He's like, just Republicans.
Oh.
So without even a slight hesitation, I go, guess you're allergic to me. Do you smoke?
Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah.
and apparently he was like rep at some point, like for the state. And I was like, well, he should have known better. Like,
Yeah.
not everyone in Massachusetts
Yeah.
is, you know, and I've voted both ways, but you don't know like what's up
Yeah.
with that. So I was like, just without even, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I guess you're allergic to me.
I'm fascinated still to the point where people hate each other so much based on their political views.
It's insane.
I have, you know, I talked about this a couple times. I have a certain family member that I don't think wanted much to do with us because for whatever reason, they thought I was a Republican. And I was a Democrat my entire life until the second term of Obama, and then I went to being an independent. And it's funny how instead of just asking me of what and having the talk, you know, and it's weird because you bring up the Second Amendment. I bring this up a lot, but they automatically think you're on the right. And during this whole transition, the amount of Democratic friends that I had that were so anti-gun were calling me off the hook. How do I get my LTC? And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, now you're coming out, but of course I'm gonna support. But I wanted to hear why, and then they were scared. You know, it was totally fear based, and I'm like, so now you understand. Someone told me something a long time ago that really made some sense. You really don't give a shit unless it affects you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then they go into panic mode, and because usually it's kind of too late.
Mm-hmm.
When you get there, but it's true, and I kind of sat on that phrase for like a long time, but it's absolutely 100% true. You really don't care until it affects you,
Right.
you know. So, you know, you bring up a good point all the time about it's not what you do today;
Yeah.
it's how you continue to.
Got to continue doing it. You know.
Yep.
But yeah, the amount of people that have stopped talking to family members or have unfriended people on Facebook, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous, and that's part of being a good human too, to be able to like just shut up and let other people have their. You may disagree with them, and you can voice your opinion, but then don't get mad if someone isn't swayed your way. And
Right.
Because to me, if you're too easily swayed, then you really don't have any loyalty to what you believe. You're just follower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dang it.
Yeah.
But you're just, I'm telling you, midget size. You're just a follower. Like if you are that easily swayed,
Right.
that means you just really don't have your own thoughts and your own ability to form a thought or think about something. If you're, you know what I mean?
Right.
People can sway you, obviously. I mean, if you start researching and listening to what they're saying, but to like hate people or not be their friend, it's just ridiculous. There's a guy on Facebook that's on, you might know him, Kaween. He's probably going to see this. Love you. He is so opposite me of politics. And like, I always like mess with him on Facebook, and then like he jabs back, and then he's like, hey, I need some cupcakes. And then he'll like advertise it. But that just shows that you can like, you know what I mean? Have a conversation, and like, he still plugs like, hey, my friend D dropped this off. You know what I mean? So it's like, why can't people just do that? Like, I don't, you know?
Yep.
That's what makes us. That's what makes this country us. I mean, everybody's gonna be the same. Not everybody's gonna be whatever views, whatever thoughts, ideas, style, music. Everybody's different.
Right.
It's somehow, some way. That's what mixes us all together.
How I approach those conversations is, and the best one I ever had was at a local gas station here. I was working for another company, and one of the managers that worked there, he knew I was political. The minute I walked in, he started hammering me on something. I go, whoa. I go, are you debating me, or would you like to have a conversation? And he goes, I want to debate. I'm like, okay, because debating and having a conversation are two different things.
It's two different things.
I said, so when I debate, I take the gloves off. When we have a conversation, it's more gentle. And I said, so I have a rule. I don't care I don't care that you're that way. I want to know how you got that way. Like, what facts steered you in that direction? And he just looked at me like he was looking for a fight.
Right. Because, well, you made him want to cite facts. There's the problem.
You were talking, or you were bringing up a point of view. He obviously had no point of view.
Right.
The debate you have two different sides.
Yep.
He ain't have one. That's why he couldn't.
Yep. And this
figure it out.
was during the Trump and Hillary Clinton presidential race, and so I brought up a few things, and he's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm like, that's cool. Why don't you grab your phone right now and look up one of those things I just told you?
Yeah.
So he did, and after he was done, man, this coffee's killing me.
Yeah.
It's right towards the end I started having a problem. I said, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let you do some homework, and I'm going to leave. I'm here once a week, so I'm going to come back in and we can get back on that subject again. And then when I came back, he was just like, he couldn't wait to talk again. And he's like, I looked at it, and first of all, I didn't know that existed, and I'm a little like taken back that I should have known that. I'm like, listen, there's so much stuff politics isn't what it used to be. It's more complex. We got a lot of stuff going on. The world's a complex place. So you're confused because you just don't know any better. So stop watching CNN or Fox News. Dive a little bit into some third-party stuff. Not conspiracy shit. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying, and this started a process with us every single, I think Monday. Yeah, it was Mondays, where we would have these conversations every Monday. And then, so one day he said to me, are you trying to get me to go the other way? I go, absolutely not. That was never my intention. I was merely giving you information to go do your homework with. I want you to start thinking in a different way. And so now I just ran into this kid about a month or two ago.
Yeah.
He goes, dude, I still do the work.
Yeah.
And
Good.
he's like, I just want to let you know I'm an independent now. I go, listen, my goal was never to change your mind. I said, so which way do you think are you leaning towards? He goes, I am. I'm kind of leaning towards the right a little bit. I never thought I'd say it. I'm like, wherever you land, I'm just telling you to do the work. I could care less on where you really end up. And
That's the problem now is people just need to shut the TV off. I haven't watched the news since April.
Shoot, you could say something right now and people can be like, oh my God, that's the truth.
Right.
That's the truth. Oh my God, you know what you just said? Like, I can't believe it. I'm going to go tell somebody else.
Yeah.
It's like,
do you know what I'm addicted to, though? And the NBC Nightly News. I don't know why. I love it.
haven't watched that.
I'm a big fan of Lester Holtz. I don't know what.
Lester Holt.
I do.
Is that your F Mary Kiss? Is that going to be one of yours? Lester Holt?
I like him. I think he's got some integrity. Although he said something
Is he
the
your
other night.
F or M? That's what I want to know.
It's a secret you'll never know.
Nah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
And I usually watch it because I don't have cable, so I watch it on the computer and while I'm doing something else. I just like the way it's put together, I think. But then again, I'm smart enough to know.
Yeah.
You know, I get my information from a trove of different places. But yeah, I'm a nightly news, NBC Nightly News
Well,
fan.
they've always been. I mean, that's a staple that's been there for who knows how long.
Yeah. But you know, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, if you're not doing the work,
Yeah.
it's your fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that'll shut somebody up so fast, man. That's why even, you know, with everything that was going on this whole year, with every topic, I mean, it didn't matter what it was. I told everybody, and even, you know, you see stuff on Facebook or somebody post this or whatever, and it's like, that's not even true, or that happened actually 5 years ago, not right now, you know, and then it's do your research. Before you say anything, before you want to talk, before you want to do anything, do your research on it. Then come back and, like you just said, have the discussion, have a conversation. Or
Yep.
like, again, if you want to have a debate, it's 2 point of views, and if you ain't got a point of view, it ain't no debate.
Yeah.
Plain
know,
and simple.
My fun,
Plain and simple.
My fun new thing now I like to do is find out who's fact checking, and then find out who they are and what they did in their past.
Yeah,
It's amazing where you find out where these people came from.
yeah,
And then you wonder, like, when you read something at first,
Yeah.
like, okay, that's a little biased.
yeah.
Where did you come from? You know, then you read it, like, one guy just looked at the other day, came from CNN. I'm like,
Well, what's the first thing people say? Oh, I saw this post. There you go, right there. Oh, I heard on. Well, there you go, right there. You
Yep.
know, do your research. That's all we're saying.
it's not hard, especially, you know, and I preach about it all the time. Once I finally started doing the work, it's Google. I mean, you know, I'm not reading at a, you know, PhD level, but I can do simple things. And when you find it, you're like, I knew that wasn't right.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when people just don't even want to do that simple thing. They listen to a friend, or they get their news on Facebook, which drives me mental. You know, if you're getting your news off Facebook, which a lot of people do, you know, and I'm guilty with YouTube, but I've learned to to go only listen to reputable people, you know, because you can go down that wormhole with YouTube, and next thing you know, you go there looking for who's running for, you know, what seat, and you're looking at Bigfoot videos.
Although censoring has been
huge.
crazy lately.
Yeah.
No more freedom of speech.
Nope. And that's going to get worse. And the problem with cancel culture is once you start doing that, and let's say my goal is to censor you and to cancel you. Let's say I do that. Now I need someone else to cancel, because you can't unlearn that now. That's wired. It's wired in your brain now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a culture. So what's that line keeps changing, and they just keep going after somebody until, and I just saw this the other day, which was hilarious. Someone who I know was a cancel culture fanatic. They got canceled. And he called me. He's like, "Can you believe it?" I just started cracking up. And he's like, "What are you laughing for?" I'm like, "Because it's about fucking time." And he's like, whoa, what do you mean? I go, "You've been canceling people. You tell me that you, like you're on Facebook and you'll click on it to, what's that word? When they want to shut it down.
Like if you're going to report.
Yeah,
someone?
report it.
Oh, yeah.
And he's one of those people, you know. And
So like he'll report, if he doesn't like what you say, he'll report you to have you.
Boom, right away. Boom. That's his thing, that button. And I said, I'm pretty convinced.
So then, like, is that the one like where Facebook looks into you and then determines?
If you put some like
and then put you in Facebook jail.
Illegal stuff or something obscene or something on there. Yeah.
Does he not have a life?
Well, he does, but he must have done it once, and then he got some satisfaction out of that, and then he aligned himself with people that were doing the same thing.
Well, I guess the real question is why does that make him satisfied? Like, what is missing in your life that you want to just mess with other people that you don't know?
Yeah. Some people, you know, that's their thing. If they cancel you out, then you don't exist, and the problem goes away.
Yeah.
You know, or, you know, the problem. But,
so someone canceled him.
Yeah, someone canceled him. And I told him you know me, I'm just straight up.
I don't even believe in karma, and there you go.
Yep. Yeah. And he couldn't believe it. He said he was a victim. That's what he told me. He goes,
of course he is.
So when he called me, he goes, "I was a victim today." So I thought he got like robbed or something.
Yeah.
So I go, "What happened? You all right?"
You're like, "Did you fill out a report?" Talk to the cops. You got the cops.
Did you say wham, frickin' wham?
He goes, "I got my Facebook page taken down." I go, "Well, yeah, that's some shit." I go, "It took you long enough."
I'm a victim.
Yeah, I'm a victim. That's what he said to me, and I was cracking up laughing.
BOOHO.
Victim of yourself.
Well, yep. I said, "So what could you have done differently next time?" I said, when you hear someone else's opinion, that's okay, dude. Like, you have to be old enough to process it. And I go, I said, you know my philosophy. Did you ever reach out to that person and start having a conversation? No, why am I going to do that? He goes, he's wrong. And it was about a Trump supporter. And I go, listen, you can pick and choose what you like and don't like from a president. That's why I like being an independent. I can call the bullshit out on both sides. I said, I could list you a list of things that Trump has done that's benefited this country, whether you like it or not. I could do the same thing with Obama. You know, I can go back, to Clinton for all I care. The problem is they're not always going to be 100%, but especially with Trump, if you were a Trump fan, you got labeled into this whole weird thing.
Real quick.
Without even thinking twice.
You're evil, you're horrible.
Yeah, you're a racist, and it's I don't, here's the thing. He's not out of office yet, but I think we're in for one hell of a ride next year. We'll see how it goes. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't a fan of Obama, especially after the second term, but I will tell you this. I supported him as our president. Plain and simple. Mm-hmm. And
I've said this before. It's not everybody's going to agree on their boss. Not everybody's going to agree on their mayor. Not everybody's going to agree on their governor. Not everybody's going to agree on the president. But that's your leader. Somehow, some way, they're gonna call shots. You might agree, you might not, but they're calling the shots for you.
I got some more shitty things to say about Congress. This whole stimulus bill is just amazing. And this is a conversation I had yesterday was how Trump just ruined everything by sending it back, asking for a $2,000 stimulus. I said, he ruined what? I go, did you read the bill? I go, no, 6,000 pages. I didn't read it either. But I listened to enough news.
Oh yeah, there's everyone on Facebook is calling him every name in the book.
Yeah.
Every name in the book. I'm like, well, I'll take your money.
Right.
Yep. And that he should be ashamed of himself. And I go, so wait a minute. You're mad at him
For wanting to give you money versus giving it to other countries.
Right.
Yeah, I go, it's your money.
And what did you do for this money? Well, you don't want it, or do you not want? Well, I mean, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, you like them when the check comes in.
We live in a crazy world right now, and I don't know when it's going to get any better. But we do our part, and we try to make it better, and we try to
control what you can control.
It will be interesting to see with all this voter fraud what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's
going to be interesting.
Like this whole thing with the RV bombing on Christmas Day.
Yeah, the other day.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And, the problem with that is it brings out the copycat.
And they ID'd him. They ID'd the guy.
Yep.
So.
He blew himself up, but, like I said, I never agree with that kind of shit to do stuff like that because you either will be killed or, I'm a Martin Luther King type person where I believe if we utilize the system the way it was intended to be used without all the corruption, I think we can make change.
Yeah.
But you have to start off at the ground level, and you have to get your townspeople and
right. Which you brought up. You brought up the point of the Nashville thing the other day. And remember, I said the last time, people talking about defunding the cops and defunding all this. Who went in there to freaking grab the guy? Who went in there to help everybody out? The cops. Yeah. So everybody that wants.
And who's the first person you're going to call when someone's breaking into your house with a gun?
Yeah.
Can they say sorry? You defunded me.
The 6 heroic ones that took care of the situation. If you would have defunded, if you would have not supported, who would have been there supporting them? So.
I think
all those, who you are. You know who you are.
I think last week's podcast with Bob was very enlightening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, defunding the cops is silly.
Right.
Do I think there needs to be change? Absolutely.
Well, yeah, that's a different piece of it.
But defunding in that kind of way is,
everybody trying to say don't support them and defund them and everything. Like, please.
I heard
who you gonna call? Ghostbusters?
I heard houses are really cheap in Portland right now.
A whole lot out there.
All right, so we're at an hour and a half. We are at our time. What do you think? Was it fun?
Yeah, I try not to think this time of night.
Well, you were thinking hard on some of those
questions.
questions.
What the hell, man?
Okay,
Some of those questions, I was like, it's like at an interview and they're like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow.
That just goes to show those coming on next.
Yeah, right.
Fluff is coming at you, so be prepared.
Study.
We're gonna
study
put
your genre. Study.
We're doing math next. So we'll have some trigonometry on
algebra.
I still use my fingers.
I'm gonna go too deep. I'm not that smart, so we got to be careful. All right, so podcast number 12 is in the can.
12. D's sweet stuff.
Can you take out one of those cupcakes and show them? Put it right up to the camera.
Where's the camera?
Got 2 of them right there.
And D, you are on Facebook.
I'll take one too.
Thank you. As I burn my hand.
Can you grab me one too, please?
Oh yes, I can.
You have to have one with us too.
No.
Yes.
No.
That's how it works.
I haven't even had dinner.
That's okay. You have
feel
dessert first.
That's right.
That is my rule.
Oh, guys, if you could smell. Oh.
I have one at home though.
Look at this.
You.
Look at this thing. This is a work of art right here. Work of art.
Seriously,
it's a masterpiece.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for doing this. That was very sweet.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you very much.
And D, you are on Facebook.
I am on Facebook.
And Instagram.
You want
to give your shout outs?
I don't know my Instagram number. My Facebook is just, my name, Deanna.
We're going to
Verderber.
have that in the comment section.
Deanna.
Yep. So we'll have all that together once the video gets done.
D's sweet stuff.
What is my?
D's sweet stuff.
What is my Facebook?
Well, it's like it's like DV.
DD as in DEEDEE.
Yeah.
V35. Because apparently my name with MV for, Marie Verderber was like
Somebody
taken.
got
So
it.
I had to say DD.
There's
another one?
There's another.
Damn,
So
we need to
D-
get to
There's
the
another
bottom of
vertebra.
this.
Is like the weigh-ins. There's more.
Or Deanna, I think that's what it was. Do you know, like, older people ask me if I was named after Deanna Durbin? That's an old name.
Deanna Durbin. Who's that?
She was at...
I'm telling you, you are getting a phone a friend on my next trivia name. Jesus.
She was on... I guess she did some, as they called it, picture shows back in the day.
Did. She was a Canadian-born actress who
Picture-
later
picture
settled in
shows.
France.
Yes,
I've seen a lot of picture shows.
picture shows.
Like this.
Yeah, right?
The picture boxes.
So it was the first 10 years that I worked at Springfield Eye. So it was that generation that's probably like on their way out or gone now. They would say to me, "Are you named after Deanna Durbin?" And I was like, "No, my mom just found it in a book. She just didn't want my first name to be Alexandria, which is what my father wanted to name me, but with the last name Verderber." My mom's like, "You're smoking crack." So I was like, no, it wasn't after anyone particular. I had to like look her up because I was like, well, who is this chick?
Yep.
Does it taste like Boston cream?
We haven't got that far yet.
It tastes like heaven
Heaven.
right now.
Damn.
He's just eating the top.
I was working my way down.
I just dove in.
Well, you got to eat the whole thing with the cream and everything. That's the point of a Boston cream.
That's
right?
why I went for the cream. I did go.
You went for the cream already?
I did.
You went right?
I did.
I think we need to bring up the shirt today.
You're right there. Hey, I always got something ready. So
How many licks does it take to get to the center?
it's the owl. Yep. How many licks? How many bites? I already
How
got
many
that.
bites?
Let's find out.
At least you got one this time.
Oh, my God.
I still can't believe they ate all the cake and you didn't even get it.
That's how I roll, man. You know what I mean?
host.
Her only excuse is she has a brain injury, so I'll let her slide. Usually, if you don't,
Yeah,
know-
but Jeff and Dave, man, they didn't even have your back.
Yeah,
See, I would have been like, yo, Jeff needs a piece downstairs.
well, next time you do the podcast, you bring something for me, and then nothing for them. That's how it works.
I can do that.
You heard it here first.
I'm over here making love. Mir, sorry, but I'm making love to this bad boy right here. Oh my God.
Sweet love.
Oh my God.
All right, we got to shut this thing down because I need to take care of this. So, podcast number 12 in the can.
DV, thank you.
You're welcome.
My boy Matty G.
There we go. Hey, Happy New Year, everybody.
That's right. We'll what do we have next week?
Brett. We got Brett D.
We got Brett Dumas in the house.
Brett D.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Oh, this is gonna,
finest.
that's going to be a good podcast
Chickabee's
too.
finest. Just
When
gonna
are
be
you going to
funny.
have like a call in? So like next week, if I don't have my card, I can call in and be like,
So it's hooked up. I can
call
I
you
can
and be
tell-
like, hey, where's my Starbucks card, man?
hook it right in. I can hook up two
How
phones
much
at the
is
same
on that
time.
again?
$30.
$30.
$30. I'm going to put some lipstick on and I'm going to seal it. That's how I roll. All right. We'll see each other again next time. So please like, subscribe, and please, the best thing you could do is share these videos.
Yes,
Get 'em out there.
Indeed. Talk it up.
All right.
Buy some
Best-
sweet stuff.
That's right.
Yes.
Buy some D's. Sweet stuff.
So good.
All right.
So damn good.
Peace.
It is.